back in November of 2022, we all watched one of the most unbelievable, completely shocking financial meltdowns in modern history. We're talking about a massive, highly regulated crypto empire that seemed practically untouchable. It was led by a founder who was literally being hailed as the savior of the industry. And then, in a matter of just days, the entire thing vanished, leaving millions of users in absolute panic.
$32 billion. Let that staggering number sink in for a second. That was the company's valuation at its absolute peak. FTX was trusted by millions of everyday retail users, it was heavily promoted by massive A-list celebrities, and it was widely seen as the absolute safest, most compliant name in all of crypto. Super Bowl commercials, stadium naming rights, politicians on speed dial, all of it right before the entire operation completely evaporated into thin air.
Today, we're going to explore this modern financial tragedy through 4 distinct chapters: the rise, the secret connection, the collapse, and the aftermath.
Chapter 1. The Rise. Building an Empire.
Let's set the scene back in 2019. The crypto industry was, well, kind of being a bit of the Wild West. Lots of chaos and unpredictability. But FTX arrived with a very specific, very appealing promise: speed, innovation, and most importantly, professional reliability. Launched as this next-generation exchange, they perfectly positioned themselves as the responsible adults in the room. And it worked brilliantly. It attracted billions in backing from top-tier venture capital firms. The founder, Sam Bankman-Fried, really leaned into this image of being the altruistic, responsible genius. Driven by massive sponsorships and celebrity endorsements, to the outside world, this empire looked totally unstoppable.
Chapter 2. The Secret Connection. Behind the Facade.
Now, right behind that polished, hyper-successful public image, a dangerous reality was lurking just out of sight. And this brilliantly illustrates the core of the problem. On one side, you had FTX projecting itself as a highly professional, reliable, and incredibly safe exchange where everyday people parked their hard-earned funds. But on the other side, that was Alameda Research, a crypto hedge fund also founded by Sam Bankman-Fried. Officially, they were strictly separate. Supposedly, there was a massive firewall between them. But in reality, while FTX claimed maximum safety, Alameda was allegedly taking customer funds to make insanely aggressive bets using high leverage, exposing the entire operation to massive hidden risks. The crucial breaking point finally hit when the broader crypto market started crashing in 2022. Those highly leveraged bets at Alameda, they started to fail. And suddenly, a leaked financial balance sheet exposed the terrifying truth. Alameda's assets didn't consist of independent, stable, hard cash. No, a massive portion of their balance sheet was heavily propped up by the FTT token. What is FTT? It's the native cryptocurrency printed out of thin air and controlled by the FTX exchange itself. They were essentially using their own monopoly money as collateral for real-world loans. It created this fragile flywheel effect where the whole firm's value was artificially inflated by a token they themselves created and manipulated. Which leads us to the terrifying question that suddenly gripped the entire market. Was Alameda's multi-billion-dollar value actually built on real money, or just on a highly illiquid token controlled by the exact same empire?
Chapter 3. The Collapse. The Bank Run.
The second that leaked financial document shattered investor confidence, the reaction was almost instant. We're talking days. Within just days of the balance sheet being exposed, the market panicked. A major rival exchange announced they were dumping all their FTT holdings, and boom, the floodgates opened. Billions of dollars were withdrawn in a terrifyingly rapid, full-scale digital bank run. Almost immediately, the system just couldn't handle it. Withdrawals were completely frozen, literally locking millions of panicked users out of their life savings. And mere days after that, facing an impossible liquidity crisis, FTX officially filed for bankruptcy. A $32 billion empire collapsed almost overnight. That is just an objective, historic fact. The stunning, unprecedented speed of this destruction left even the most hardened, experienced financial experts completely stunned. Literally one moment, they were the ultimate trusted authority, actively bailing out other struggling crypto firms, and the next, they were just gone, leaving a multi-billion-dollar hole in their wake. Chapter 4. The Aftermath, a Shattered Industry. The fallout from this collapse was immediate and devastating. Investigators instantly started asking the hard questions about how customer funds were truly being handled behind closed doors. Sam Bankman-Fried faced intense regulatory scrutiny and severe criminal charges. But honestly, this wasn't just about one man's reputation collapsing. It was a massive, systemic failure of trust. The entire crypto industry was shaken to its core by contagion. Prices plunged globally. It triggered a massive loss of investor confidence across all exchanges, forcing the broader public to seriously question the structural safety of the entire decentralized financial sector.
Ultimately, this exposes a brutal, timeless lesson about modern finance. There is a massive, fundamental difference between hype and transparency. Hype, slick marketing, and celebrity endorsements? Sure, they can absolutely create powerful, seemingly untouchable empires. But radical transparency and verifiable proof of reserves, that is the true foundation that actually keeps companies standing during a crisis. No entity, no matter how politically connected or how incredibly highly valued it is too big to fail when its foundation is secretly made of cards. Which brings us to a final, absolutely vital takeaway. In crypto, trust without proof can cost billions. I really want to let that sink in for a moment. It's a stark reminder that challenges all of us to demand verification, rather than blind faith when it comes to our financial trust. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer.